Welcome to Let's Think About It podcast. I'm your host, Dr. E. Today we're going to explore a vital conversation about physical health and mental health. In this episode, we will uncover how taking care of our bodies directly impacts our minds and our emotions. From practical tips from our expert insight, we're here to empower you on your journey to holistic health. So let's get ready to think about it and challenge our perspectives and embrace our healthier, happier self. So I have a guest with me today, Nicole Thomas, and she is I'm gonna let her tell you about her, because I don't wanna mess it up. So I'm gonna let her tell you about her. I thought it was so imperative to have someone to come in today to talk about physical health. As I shared with her on last evening, there's been 3 pastors in the last 3 weeks that two have died in their pulpit, and one went in to have surgery and never came out. And knowing, being in ministry, owning your own business, we have a tendency to ignore the signs and really go straight in. So tell them who you are, and then we'll get into that conversation.
Okay, so my name is Nicole Thomas. I am a certified personal trainer. I am a group fitness instructor, and my passion is wellness. So as Erica mentioned, we did speak last evening, and I just have a passion for people to really find freedom in fitness. I feel like we were made to move, and I believe that there's freedom in that. And so I want to help people to not just live well spiritually and find abundance in their soul, but also find freedom in their physical body, because I believe that that's what we were made to do.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get into this field? What made you want to become a personal trainer? How did you get in this field?
My background is actually mental health. So that's what I had a passion for, was people feeling well mentally. And then I've been in that for many years. And I tell people this is my act 2. This is just a different chapter. Mm-hmm. And so my focus is still on wellness. Mm-hmm. It's just that I'm going at it from a different target area. Mm-hmm. So I'm still focused on people feeling well. But my target area is using physical health to help them feel well all around. Because as we know, there's a connection between your physical body and your mental body. And when you feel well physically, it does impact you mentally.
It does. So in the African American community, we are running high in blood pressure, diabetes. We work and live in stressful environments. Yes. Anxiety is high. I have found that in my own personal life, I share with you, I'm a 3-time stroke survivor. And the strokes didn't come as a result of high blood pressure. Mine was cholesterol. So my cholesterol has been high since I was in my 20s. Mm-hmm. It's hereditary. It's on both sides, mom and dad. So I couldn't miss the in-between. And so I tried everything. My doctor, we tried everything we could with medication. And so she sent me to a nutritionist. So with the nutritionist, we found with the combination with the medication and the right combinations of food and diet, I could get everything work. Well, we know, like anything, insurance only pay for so much. Right. And then, buying what they said buy, that gets expensive. So we try to figure, okay, I can modify this and modify that. And so I found that in the African American community, we neglect ourselves. Number one, because we don't want to spend the money or the time to buy the necessary food. We lack sometimes changing our lifestyle because we feel like we got to get it done. If I get this last thing in, then I can rest. But we don't know how to pull away. So what have you found in the African American community in working with us and getting us physical fit is the most challenging thing?
Right. So I think it's a mindset, and what you said, especially African American women. Mm-hmm. So not only is obesity a big, risk factor for health across the board, but then when you drop it down, African Americans are higher, and then within the African American community, African American women are higher at risk than African American men. And so when I work with women in particular, it's stress. We are carrying the entire household, and we are feeling like we can't leave work, we can't take vacations, we can't rest, we don't have time. time, I don't have money, and I'm going to wait, you know, when the kids are finished this, or when I'm done this, then I'll be able to focus on my health. And what I'm trying to stress is that at that time, then we'll be spending money on getting you better, because now we've spent all this time neglecting your health. And so it's kind of like that whole image of, you know, putting your mask on first. And I try to stress to my clients that I need you to put on your mask first before you care for your kids, your husband, your friends, grandma and them. I need you to put on your mask first. So taking care of your body, moving your body, eating foods that enrich your body is your way of putting on your mask first. Therefore, you are pouring from a full cup as opposed to being depleted, and now you're trying to help everyone from an empty cup.
Exactly. So, you know, culturally, we are rich in our food, you know. You know, culturally, our soul food, Thanksgiving and Christmas and holidays, you know, food is, I believe it's the gathering pot for the African American community. You know, you bring food, we coming. And so one of the things that I did 10 years ago, I cut out beef and I cut out pork. The only pork I ever ate was bacon. But I cut beef out. And I realized with my body, I don't digest meat well. So I recognized, because I didn't digest meat well, let me cut out certain meats. And I found by doing that, I felt better. And so now I focus on chicken, turkey, and fish. So I don't eat meat every day. Because I still, even with those three meats, I still don't digest meat fully. I know my body. And so that's the thing. I think that as we learn our bodies, what works for us, I think we need to listen to those signs and listen to, okay, well, I know everybody wants a steak. No, I'm getting turkey. Well, you're not gonna get it. No, I'm not eating any beef. It smells great, and it's like I've not been tempted. None of that. Just because in my mind, I told myself I want to live. So I know beef and pork; those are not good for my body. I know what works for me. And so, what would you tell an individual that is struggling with knowing their body and the signs? What would you tell them to do?
Two things you said that stuck with me really quickly is that you know your body. The key is to actually listen to our bodies. Our bodies are talking to us all the time. I mean, when you woke up this morning, you got out of bed, your body probably was talking to you, whether it was your back, your knee, something was talking to you, right? So our body is speaking all the time. And when we eat, I try to get my clients to, instead of me telling you what to eliminate or what to add, listen to your body. So start keeping a journal. You know, document when I eat this is how I feel afterwards. I feel really lethargic. I feel bloated. I have a stomach ache. Those kind of things. It's your body way of telling you this is what my body needs. I think we run the risk of trying to have this blanket kind of prescription that's for everyone, because we are all different and we are all an original design, right? God made us original, and I believe that He is trying to then help us individually find a prescription, which is His prescription as to what works for us. And so, you know, for you, it may be, you know, eliminate beef. You know, for someone else, it may be eliminate wheat. I know some people have a problem with wheat in their gut, right? So I think the problem is we get these fad diets and we want to latch on to what someone else is doing. And God is saying, come back to me. You know, I'm your teacher. I'm your personal trainer. I'm everything. I made you. And so He knows what's best. So I definitely believe that if we actually take the time, slow down enough to listen to what your body is trying to tell you after you eat whatever it is you ate. The second thing that sticks out to me in terms of people not only wanting to change, but then pushing to actually do something about it is a why. What's your why? You know, you mentioned cholesterol. You know, you mentioned being a stroke survivor. So you have a why that's going to keep reminding you. So when someone is saying, hey, this steak smells good, don't you want to, you know, try this steak? Your why is clear, right? Clear. And so I think for, you know, many many of my clients is trying to get them to hone into what's their why, and it's usually bigger than just I just want to lose weight.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, why? You know, I want to come off blood pressure medication. I want to be able to play with my grandkids. You know, I want to be able to do these things on my wish list after I retire.
Yes.
I don't want to be in a bed. You know, I tell my clients, you know, my goal is to be able to bring all my groceries in from the grocery store in one trip.
Yeah.
So I lift weights in my arms because them grocery bags are heavy.
Yes, yes.
You know, I do squats because I have to use public restrooms and I don't want to sit down. That's a squat. So working out is functional.
Yes,
Working out
yes.
is functional.
It is.
It's not. It doesn't have to be this painful. You know, have to. It's a get to.
Yes.
You know, you
I like
get
that.
to move.
I like that,
We
yeah.
were made to move, and
I
you
like
get
that.
to move every day. There's
Every day.
someone right now who would like to move,
Yes,
and they are
yeah.
waiting for someone to come move them.
That's right.
You get to move.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
get to move. So don't, you know, waste that gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift that we can move our own bodies,
Absolutely,
right? And so
absolutely.
I just try to. It's a mindset shift.
Yeah.
It's a mindset
Yeah.
shift. Yeah.
You know, so being married to a pastor, my cousin, we are, I'm gonna say this, y'all, we are horrible. I mean, we just are. They want to feed us after service. We go somewhere and preach, and all they want to do is just feed us, and we eat, and because they're feeding us, and so I make it a rule when I'm asked to go preach somewhere. I tell them I eat my last meal at 4:30. I won't eat after service. If I do, I tell them, well, we're going to give you something. You can give me fruit. And so I tell them, and it's like, well, you must be the healthiest preacher. I'm not. I realize that I can't eat after service like that and then go to the room and lay down.
Right.
You know, I need to really, because at the end of the day, I got to look out for myself.
Right.
So dealing with pastors, those of us in ministry, what has been the challenge? So how did you get my cousin to lose weight? How did you get him to get to that place of losing weight?
I think the challenge is, you know, what you just said. There are institutional things that are set up that right now is probably not for your best interest right now, right? That are rooted in tradition, right? And we can shift, just like COVID caused us to shift to move things online. We can shift and still have the things that really matter, right? So what matters in terms of them wanting to feed you after, it's their way of showing their generosity, and we can still do it a different way, and maybe giving people an idea of what works for you. So I know you want to love on me, and this is how I would like to receive that love. But even it goes back to the why. I mean, he had a bigger why. So there are, you know, many people who are trying to get off different medications, and that can be your why. Absolutely. You know, if you have a healthcare provider that is helping, you know, guide you in that journey, that can be your why. And I think that was his why. Was, again, it was a medical why. But even if you don't already have a health condition, we want to live better. We want to, you know, he said, I come so you can have life and life more abundantly. That's here now. That's not the great by and by. That's not when that's here, you know. So I want people to live life full. You know, it pains me to see people struggle to walk and move. You know, I want them to be able to jump for joy. That's not just a phrase. I really want you to be able to jump for joy. I want you to be able to stand and raise your arms above your head and without having pain in your shoulders. I want you to be able to lift your grandchild up. I want you to be able to reach for something in the kitchen without. It is really about living life to the fullest while we are here. That's the life I desire every person that I work with to have, is that life that's full, not just I'm existing. Because you can exist, and if that's but I want to show you that there's something better.
Exactly.
There's something better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love to, one of my places of relaxation is Morocco. So I go to Morocco twice a year. And so this year when I went, on a pastor's retreat, they asked us what we wanted to do. And we all was like, I think we all looked at each other, and the one thing we all said, we didn't want to go shopping. They was like, y'all want to go shopping this time? We were so exhausted when we got there. So she said, I know exactly what y'all need. So she brought somebody to come in and do massages. We went into the steam room. She brought somebody there to do Pilates with us. She brought everything to us there at the Riage that we didn't have to leave. And it was so relaxing to be able just to do nothing. And sometimes we plan vacations, and I know people that plan vacations, it's every minute, every second. And when I got on the plane, I said, God, I hope this group of people don't want to do anything, because I don't want to do nothing. We all had the same mind frame. I mean, we went out, we ate, and we walked around and did some little things, but nothing like we normally do whenever we go. So this year, I made it a point that I said I was going to take a vacation where it didn't entail me doing absolutely nothing. If I wanted to sleep or lay down all day, I would do that. If I wanted to do nothing, I did that. And sometimes I think that even when we're on vacation, we feel like we have to do something. You talked about the fact that, I gotta be moving. I gotta be doing something. I made a point. I told my staff. I told them I'm not answering texts. I'm not answering emails. Then I went on sabbatical for my church. So I went on sabbatical mid-May. I just came back last Sunday, and so I went on a sabbatical. That was the best. It was relaxing. I didn't answer an email. I didn't anything. They text me. I waited. I had like 50-some texts, and so I said, I'll get those texts. That's the first time I had ever done that. And I had to really. It was hard. It was really hard because I wanted to respond to the text. I wanted to respond to, I really wanted to, but I said no, because mentally I was drained. I was mentally exhausted. I was tired, physically, mentally. When I got on that plane, I slept the whole way. Normally I'm up, I slept all the way there. And when the driver came and picked us up, I slept all the way. I was exhausted. And so I realized from that my mental health was affecting my physical health. And I realized that I didn't want to come back tired. So I said, what am I going to do? So I decided I had to make a mental note. I'm going to relax. And we did that. So I often tell my friends, don't just say you're going to change. Do it. I said, because we only got one life. We're not a cat. We don't have 9. When this body here stops, it stops. I said, so you've got to change. And so I've got a lot of friends that's in my age group and diabetes, high blood pressure. I said, at some point you want to come off of that. You don't want to lose a limb. I got some friends that lost limbs because of diabetes. They've had to change their lifestyle because of obesity and different things. Everybody's on this Ozempic kick. I tell people, okay, that might be a short-term, but what's the long-term effect of being on that type of medication? So why don't you just learn how to lose the weight? It may take you a little longer, but you'll get there. I tell people in high school, I ran track. High school and college, I ran track. So believe it or not, y'all, I used to bench press. Squat 375, and I used to lift 250. I was very in shape. I broke my foot in 2007. Oh wow! And after 2007, I got lazy. It took my foot longer to heal. From that, I developed blood clots in my leg, and so then I went down a whole different rabbit hole. So it took me forever to get back. So I got back into let me get back to walking. So then I got back into jogging and got back into that pace, and I did that for a minute, and then I dropped off. So I found myself dropping off, falling off, dropping off, falling off. I'm ashamed to tell you this. I bought a brand new Peloton 3 years ago.
You're not alone.
It's sitting. Yeah, I probably got on it 3 times, but I told myself the other day, I went back in and had to reprogram it because I hadn't been on so long. I had to go back and reprogram it. I said, I got to get back on this Peloton. It's just sitting here.
Have you turned it into a clothes rack yet, or is
no? It's sitting there. There's nothing on it. It's still sitting there. Yeah, it's still sitting there, but I got to get back on it. What would you tell somebody that has all the equipment in their house, Sell it or start with one piece and work your way.
I was about to say, so let me say this.
Go ahead.
Everybody has all the equipment at their house.
Okay.
Because the only equipment you really need is you.
That's true.
So everybody actually has all the equipment
That's
they
true.
need.
Now,
Okay.
thought about like that.
Everybody actually has all the equipment.
That's it.
Now there are some people with extra equipment,
Yeah.
right? They acquired over COVID and it's still sitting there.
Yes.
The Pelotons, the weights. I have clients that with everything,
Yes, yes.
right? But it's getting over that hump. It's not that they don't want to change.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't want something different because they do.
Yeah.
But it goes back to first and foremost their why. They have to have a why. They have to, and they got to dig to find it. You know, I had a client who was a breast cancer survivor, and she was on a medication that was a preventative medication, right? So it would decrease the likelihood of it returning.
Gotcha.
The side effect, like any other medication, has side effects. One of the side effects was that it would impact her bone density. So her doctor recommended it, strength training, so that, because one of the great results of strength training exercises, anything weight loading, is that it helps your bone, help your bone density. Like that's a decreased bone loss.
Yes,
Like, who wouldn't want that?
exactly.
So for her, that's her why.
Yeah.
It's not about a number on a scale.
Yes.
She has fought for her life.
Yes.
So she has a why,
Yes.
right? So when she doesn't feel like it, that's her why, right? Someone else wanted to, again, get off medication. You know, even when someone tells me their why is about weight loss, we got to go a little deeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, why do you need to lose weight?
Yeah.
What is it that you want to do? Tell me something, not only that I don't want, like I want to lose weight, but what is it that you want to, what do you see yourself doing in the future?
Absolutely.
I have a client who wants to lose weight because she right now cannot get on certain rides with her nieces and nephews because of her size.
Gotcha.
She wants to be able to get on a ride at the amusement park. Come on.
Yeah,
Like that's a why.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? That's going to push past I don't feel like it.
Absolutely.
Okay? But once you get your why, now you got to find your who. We were made to do things in community,
Yes, we were.
right?
Yes.
Right? And you got to find your who. You got to find your accountability person, group,
Absolutely.
something. Whether it is something virtual,
Yes.
it could be a Peloton group, but you got to first put it out there. This is what I'm doing, so they can hold
Yes.
you accountable. It could be your girlfriend. It could be your spouse.
Yes.
You need a who.
Yes.
You got to be somebody. You got to actually tell somebody, this is what I'm doing.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So this is your why. Then you have your who. Then you need your what. So we got the 3 W. Your what? What is it that you're actually going to do? I am going to get on my Peloton 3 times this week for at least 10 minutes.
Yes.
So you have told somebody exactly what you're going to do, right? And when you're going to do it. And I like to make it so you set yourself up for success on the front end.
Gotcha.
So we don't say I'm going to do 60 minutes every day this week and you haven't done any.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's start bite size.
Yeah.
Because the success is like a ball. It starts rolling. And now you realize I only promised myself 5 minutes. I can stay on here a little longer.
Yeah, exactly.
And next thing you know, you've done 10.
Yeah.
But set yourself up for success. Today I'm just going to walk outside during lunch. I'm gonna do 2 laps around this building. That's my what.
Yeah.
And as you're walking, you're like, you know what? I got more time. I'm gonna do a couple more laps.
Yeah, absolutely.
But make it so it is bite size initially. So you gotta have your why. You gotta have your who. If no one else knows, you gonna let you down.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just are.
Yeah.
But if you have a who there that's gonna say, Erica, did you do your 10 minutes today? Right? You need a who. And you know who to pick.
Yeah.
Now don't pick the one
I
that
do.
bring you Krispy Kremes every day. That ain't the one to pick. You know the one to pick,
Absolutely.
right? We all know the one. The one we try not to call,
Exactly.
that's the one. Call that one. And then you need to know what. Be really specific on this is what I'm going to do. And this is the date I'm going to do it. And get out of the black and white thinking.
Yeah.
Your workout don't have to start on a Monday.
Yeah.
It don't have to start on the first of the month. It
Yeah.
don't have to start in January. It don't have to, right?
Yes,
It can start today.
Yeah, I can start today. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, it don't have to be at the beginning of something.
Yeah.
Start as soon as you find that. Start then.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Start then. Do something then. It will start feeding on the next success and the next success. Yeah.
So do you do your trainings virtually or in person?
I shifted primarily about 80%, I did 100% virtual when COVID hit. So it was all in person before COVID.
Okay.
And as you know, COVID hit and we had to shift.
Yeah.
We had to shift, and so we shifted to all virtual. And then I went back to some in person, and once COVID ended, but I still do the majority of my clients. I realize they love it, and it takes away some of those excuses, right? Because I have clients that travel for work. No excuses, load that up. What time zone are you in?
Exactly.
Okay, what time is that? Okay, good, I got you. We're gonna work out at that time. So I've had clients I have a client now that has been transferred to Senegal. I just trained her last night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was 3-something my time. I don't know what time it was her time, but guess what? We got it done. So it takes out some of the excuses.
Oh, wow.
So I like to meet people where they are.
Yes.
That I don't have time, I can't get to a gym, I don't have this equipment. All I need you to do is show up.
Just show up,
I'll make sure you're successful.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you show up, I'll make sure you're successful. That's it. That way we could take away that excuse. I've had clients train their dogs in there, the kids are in there. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I have new moms working out. The kid can be right there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
The kids love it. The kids like to see you move. That way they can realize that moving is important.
Yeah, and then they're moving too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It does
so
not
it's a
distract.
family
It's a family affair.
Yeah,
So we can
exactly.
try to eliminate all the different things that may be a hurdle to you, right?
So as a takeaway, we talked about the 3 W's. What would you tell someone that is on the fence right now saying, I know I need to do this, and I know it's a matter of life or death, and I know that my family's in my corner. How am I going to now pivot to make this change? That one person, I know you tune in, y'all listen to us there. I know you're probably saying, I hear everything she's saying, but I'm stuck. I don't know how to pivot. What would you tell that person that would be just one thing they can just pivot to make that change? Say, hey, I want to get connected to Nicole for virtual training. What would they do?
First, I need them to look in the mirror. Literally.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror and tell themselves you're worth it. They need to know that they're worth it. They are worth it. They are given to everyone else. They give 110% to that job,
That's right.
and they leave worn out.
Yeah.
They give 110% to their family, their kids, all day long, right?
Yeah.
They need to look in the mirror and say, you're worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. That's what I need. It's a mind shift. You're worth it. You are worth it. So make an appointment with yourself. And the way you don't cancel on anyone else,
Yeah.
don't cancel on yourself because you're worth it.
Yeah, that's good.
You're worth it. Because everything else is there for you. It's this that you gotta address. You are worth it.
Yeah. Guys, listen, let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. We've got to be renewed by our mind, our bodies, and our soul. God created us for purpose. He created us for an assignment on our life. And don't you fail yourself, as Nicole said. You can let a lot of people down, but don't you let you down. So thank you for joining us in this episode of Let's Think About It. Remember, your physical and your mental health is intertwined. Taking small steps every day. As she said, don't just try to rush into it one time and say, I'm going to do 60 minutes a day. No. Let's start with 5 minutes, work our way up to 10 minutes, because eventually you'll get there. And so I believe that change comes in small increments. And whenever you take the small steps, eventually you'll find yourself sprinting, and then you'll find yourself running a long distance, and then you'll find yourself running a marathon. Eventually you will get there. So don't you give up on yourself, because I believe your greatest investment is you. Thank you for tuning in for Let's Think About It with Dr. E. Nicole, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Her information will be in the lower thirds and how you can contact her. I believe today your life is going to be changed. Let's think about it.